Welcome to another episode of Soundtrack of Our Lives. I'm here with Sam Hollands, who is at the Chamber of Commerce in Coventry and Warwickshire. And if you just explain a little bit about what you do over at the Chamber.
Will do, yeah. Thank you, Neil, for having me on. So I work on the membership team over at the Chamber, and I encourage people to sign up and join our already quite big membership crew, if you want to call it, membership system that we've got going on over there. It's interesting, get to meet lots of people and really enjoy it, get to go to all sorts of different events. That's where you and me first met. Really enjoy it.
Yeah, and there's a massive membership there, isn't there? And
we've got about 1,500 members there. We're one of the strongest in the country, which is good. So Coventry and Warwickshire is the leading mast of chambers, hopefully, when it comes to the other 52 that are spread across the country. So yes, I represent our local one. Yeah,
that's quite something to achieve with there's that many chambers going on. I mean, you've got a great team there as well. I've known people in the Chamber, I think probably the best part of 15 years now, through various jobs I've had and businesses I've been involved in, and every single one of them has been nothing but supportive and helpful. So if you are in Coventry and Warwickshire, I'll put all the Sam's details in the content, and you can get in touch and find out how it can help you or your business.
And we're honest as well. If we don't think we can help, we won't, but we'll certainly know someone that can and point you in the right direction. We're passionate about making sure that you succeed. So that's that.
Very much so. So that's a little bit about Sam. Your first song then that we've gone for, probably the most well-known band of all time, I think it's safe to say, isn't it? It was the Beatles.
Yeah.
And your choice is Paperback Writer. Well, they're all good songs, aren't they? But why did you choose this one in particular?
So again, really because they're all good songs. And my parents are mad Beatles fans, so growing up, wherever we were going in the car, it was either that or Mummers and the Poppers, so really the Beatles was my first taste of music, which I feel very blessed with, because as you say, they're just such a great band, always still humming along to the tunes in my head whenever I sort of hear one, and I think just that's what made me find my passion for music and listening to sort of decent music anyway.
Yeah, I mean, it's great that if you're driving along and seatbelts weren't so much a thing, were you? Sliding across the back seat of the car.
Yeah, no, I was in the footwell.
In the footwell, yeah. And you got some cracking songs on it. It's like, music. If music's this good, I think I might get into it. So
that's the thing. Back then, there was no distractions, was there? If you were sat in the car, you were sat in the car, and you were looking out the window or listening to the music. So there was no mobile phones or messages, you had to find and keep yourself amused. So I think with that lack of distraction, you sort of listen to your surroundings a lot more. Yeah,
you were a lot more immersed in it, weren't you? I know now kids, they got DVD players attached to the back of chairs and everything to distract them from actually just I suppose being part of the journey that you're on. But brilliant song. I mean, you could have picked one of any, couldn't you? But
many of them. I was
absolutely phenomenal.
Lucky that my ex lived on Abbey Road as well, down in London, just off of it. So that was quite special. It's just weird, isn't it, how it sort of pulls you into different areas and the different likes that you have. So that was quite cool. But no, definitely with the Beatles, know all word for word, to the point where I got the old man to sort of record me the old cassette tapes, so I could listen to them. I mean, God, this was like when I was 6, 7, I think. Yeah. So quite young with it all. So loved it.
Fantastic, just an amazing act. I don't think there'll ever be a band that will surpass them as far as numbers of things sold again. It's just that's it. That's it.
And individually as well, what they all achieved afterwards. I mean, John Lennon obviously, gone too soon, but George Harrison as well. Here Comes the Sun. I want that played at my funeral. That song. So it's just they've all done their own little things, haven't they?
Truly legendary. And the second one, funnily enough, your second song choice it couldn't be more different, really, could it? Which is quite funny. Yeah. And it's not particularly a song as such, although maybe if you can choose one song off the album that you do like most. This is Doggy Dogg World by Snoop Doggy Dogg. Yeah. From the early 90s, I wasn't entirely sure when it was, but 91, 92 sort of era.
Yeah.
The whole album.
Yeah, the reason I thought of that, because I couldn't really choose one. Again, you'd sort of you meet your new mates at school, don't you? Really, because when I went from my middle school, I was the only lad that went to the high school at Newbold Grange, as it was at the time.
Yeah.
And met sort of a whole new load of friends, and so you just tag along, didn't you? And then I think that's when you really do start to enjoy music and appreciate music, even more so when you're sort of kicking in, because the fashion comes along with it, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And the whole, you've got your groups then where you turn off into it and you go to different sort of areas, or there's different pubs that cater for different themed music. Is there back then anyway? You know, that's where all the rockers would go, or the clubbers would go, or so. But that would lead. But the beginning of that journey was Snoop Doggy Dogg for me. I mean, it was one of many. I think. But that was just one that sort of stuck out because it had to get in there, because it was a big part of life. Like that, NWA, Naughty by Nature. Really sort of Fugees, still into my hip hop now, still sort of love to listen to it. I think it's an art form of joining words together so they rhyme, it's poetry with the beat, it's brilliant, it's always found it very calming.
Yeah, and it's funny how, like you say, when you're at school and you kind of end up gravitating towards your mates that have similar-ish interests to you, or even sometimes, when I was at school, me and my best mate at school, were actually polar opposites. I was very much into dance music, and he was, Metallica, Megadeth, Nirvana, and rock. And we would perhaps, as we went through college years, we would alternate. One night we'd go up to my club for dance music, and then we'd be down the Coliseum, was it? No, not Colin Campbell.
Oh, okay.
So yeah,
interesting.
We'd swap around because we both like different stuff. But finding your kind of area in life definitely. It does have a real impact, doesn't it? Your group and your vibe, and like you say, how you dress and all these things, and that music is then, the Beatles are something like that was influenced by your parents, but this is how you find your own interest. It's pretty cool.
I mean, there was that, and there was the hardcore rave scene as well.
Yeah.
That was massive in my school. The DJs were like celebrities.
Carl Cox and
Slipmatt, Psy, all of them. Stu Allen, especially with Coventry having quite a big impact in that scene.
Yeah.
So if that wasn't playing on the old Alba Walkman, it was the DJ Ratty and all that sort of stuff. And
what was that club? Eclipse.
Which was one of the big ones. I was too young, unfortunately, to get. Though I had a few mates get in there somehow.
I never got in,
but but just things like that. That it was. Just finding your feet. That's when I first had my love of dance music as well.
Yeah.
When I started getting into that. I mean, God, if I listen back to a few of the tapes now, it was nuts. But certainly playing full blast. Had all the flyers over my bedroom wall.
Yeah.
That we used to come and get from. I can't remember. There's a shop in Rugby here where we used to go and collect them all. And we weren't interested in the rave. It was the artwork.
Yeah.
We used to like the artwork that was on the flyers themselves. And my bedroom's a picture of me with my whole bedroom covered in them.
The flyers were incredible, weren't they? The thought that went into them and how they looked. Yeah, I definitely know what you mean.
And I've still got that joy of that type of imagery, that type of artistic, graphic. I don't know what you call it really. Style. Yeah. Of that sort of that cool, because they were cool, weren't they? All the different images, and there were sort of like little cartoon characters, and all of it, and of course the acid face, the original, the acid smiley face.
Yeah.
So really enjoyed it. Yeah.
No, it was cool stuff, wasn't it? And your third choice actually, it was from that clubbing scene, the whole house clubbing scene, sort of 94, 95, etc.
Yeah, so that's when I moved on.
Yeah.
And got into the clubbing scene. Yeah.
This one is Duke and So In Love With You.
Yeah. Classic. One of many that you could choose from so many. And just weirdly enough, I heard that the other day on the radio. And so that's why I put it in there, because it was a good one.
It just takes you back to some amazing nights out, wasn't
it? We went everywhere. We went all up and down the country. It was nuts.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's why it just went so quick. I think the end of the 90s.
Yeah.
Because every single weekend we were Crazy Daisies.
Yeah.
Always in Wobble in Birmingham. Always at the Canal Club over in Wolverhampton. Went to Love to Be in Sheffield, went to Cream in Liverpool, went down to Bournemouth, went all sorts of places. So all the festivals as well, they were great. Really sort of kicked the arse out of it, to be honest, with the clubbing. And it was a big group of us, 20 of us that used to do it all, and there's always someone that you would go with, that type of thing. So loved it, and I just think that had to be included in there as well, because that was when the joy of music sort of really kicked in. And you talk about fashion, I mean, some of the ridiculous things we used to wear going clubbing, like Rupert the Bear trousers and big shiny yellow shirts, and but it didn't seem strange because everyone else was doing it.
Yeah, you weren't stuck out on your own, like, you look a bit weird maybe down in the Asda doing that, but when you're out clubbing and you're in that scene, you're in the right vibe, and everybody's in the same boat, and it just looks, the whole thing was really cool.
Yeah, oh god, yeah, Worcester boat parties we used to go on, they were brilliant, go up and down the Severn for 10 hours. But yeah, they're really good. When we're getting into the Hacienda, probably a year or two before it all got shut down, and I think it's just houses now, but what a place. Well, I mean, I think I went to that one. Was that one in Birmingham or Nottingham? Manchester. Yeah. Look at me, see, I've got no idea.
Just similar to Cream in Liverpool.
Oh, okay,
it was the club. In the northwest, it's absolutely monstrous. Because
they're all over the shop, weren't they? I mean, right here, back then, I remember in rugby there were about 7 nightclubs. Yeah, I think there's 2 now. Yeah, same as Coventry.
Yeah, there's hardly any now, isn't there?
There's 2 in a city of that size. I think it's 2 actual nightclubs. It's ridiculous. Yeah, but they were such big business back in the day.
They were all packed, weren't they? They were all absolutely packed. Yeah, for amazing times. So your fourth choice, and as you well know, I mean, we've been mates for a while now, and this guy he's got to be the coolest man on the planet.
I know, yeah. He's proper Marmite. People either love him or they hate him.
Yeah, you're one or the other. And I love this guy. He's so cool. His music, just him. He's got this supercar garage. He's everything about him.
Yeah, legend.
Like, could I, even if I could be 100th as cool, I'd be winning at life, in my opinion.
Yeah.
It is, of course, JK, Jamiroquai, and the song you've chosen, again, for me, like with the Beatles, he's phenomenal, this guy. And you've gone for Too Young to Die. So why have you picked that one in particular?
So with Too Young to Die, again, he was another one that was floating around in the background in the clubbing scenes, always good to listen to after the club. And it's just, from my point of view, it's, and then I fell ill in '99, quite seriously. Both my sort of kidneys failed, and so again, when I was 2.5 years living in Walsgrave Hotel and Casino, as I called it, it was when I was ever on dialysis and all that sort of stuff. It was great. It was good to listen to, and one tune that used to keep me motivated, or made me think, come on, Hollands, you can get through this. Was I was too young to die. I was only 21. And everyone else around me with the same condition I had, but sort of really quite elderly, so it was that, as well as many other ones that of his, that sort of really made me love him even more, I suppose. Never been to one of his concerts, which is a crime. All my mates have gone to him, loved him, and I never got the chance to go to one. So have you been to one?
I've never been either, so you and I will sort that out at some point.
If he comes round again and does it again, definitely. No, I mean, to the point now where my lad, every time he gets in the car, he says, Jamiroquai, Dad, we put it on. And he loves it. He knows it all word for word.
Awesome.
And he thinks it's cool, so at least he's got the right gene inside him anyway. He's proper Marmite, isn't he? You know, people really think, my colleague at work, Alex, as you know, he's always digging me saying, oh, he's shitty, isn't he? But no.
Some people you can't account for taste, can you? I mean, come on.
so I tag him in it purposely, because I'll change him.
He'll learn.
Change his opinion. He'll learn, that's right.
Learn.
You can tell him that as well when you see him.
I will tell him next time. It's absolutely unacceptable.
It is.
And funny enough, my daughter was showing me a playlist of hers the other day, and it's funny how your kids get influenced, isn't it? Obviously by your music, a bit like how we talking, like your parents and Beatles, and my sort of Neil Diamond and Tina Turner and Neil Sedaka and all this. And my older daughter is much more into music than the younger one, and she had lots of my music on her playlist. She had some Jamiroquai on there. We had some of the Smiths, and it was quite cool to see. I was like, oh, that's got some good taste there. So it's funny how it always goes round and round, does it, in a loop, that you do have this influence on them.
Yeah, no, definitely, But no, legend, really enjoy it. Still listen to it. It's one of those ones that you just don't get bored of, in my head. You get those albums, don't you, or tunes that you just listen to and then it's like, meh. Whereas this one, I've been playing it probably on repeat. I remember going down to Norfolk to visit my grandparents in my beaten up old Mini with a cassette, playing Jamiroquai because I'd nicked it off someone's off their CD. You used to have to copy the.
Yeah, you can copy it over.
So that's 20 years ago, it must be.
Never get tired of it.
Don't never get tired of it. Always time for Jamiroquai.
Yeah, 100%.
Good go-to.
Yeah, and then and your last choice of 5 is the legend that is Bob Marley. We had someone else choose a Bob Marley song on an earlier episode. It wasn't this song.
Yeah.
I mean, what can you say about this guy? He's sort of beyond music.
Yeah.
I think he's more than just a musician.
Yeah, definitely.
As a person, he was before my time, but you can't help but love him and everything he stood for.
Yeah.
And the song you've chosen from Bob is Jammin'.
Love it. I mean, sort of named my second born after it. Because he's called Benjamin.
Yeah.
So it's in there.
It's there, yeah.
And just again, it's because of when he was doing his thing for his music to still have such a legacy today proves the quality of it, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And the fans that he has, and like I was just saying to you earlier, I've just got a new Husky, and that's my go-to music to leave on in the background when I'm not there at home. Just so we can.
Even Huskies love Bob Marley.
He loves it. Yeah, I came back the other day and he had a hat with dreadlocks on. It's just a nice background music. He speaks a lot of sense in his words. I just he's a voice, so I love it.
Yeah, it's a sort of a beautiful soul, isn't it? I think when you listen to his music, it's not just the music. There's this feeling about it.
Yeah.
And I mean, my personal favourite of his is Three Little Birds, but it's hard to choose.
Yeah.
And it's the melodies and the words and what they mean, and the whole thing is just amazing.
Yeah, I mean, my first love of that came actually when I was a travel agent in rugby, and I won a competition to go off. They do these things called excursions where you go off and visit places because it's easier for you to sell if you've been there when you come back.
Oh, that's not a bad gig to have though, is it? And that's how old were you with this?
This was 19, I think, 18, 19.
Yeah, what a thing to be doing at that age.
The what, sorry?
What a thing to be doing.
Oh yeah, no, very
18,
lucky.
19, that's incredible.
Yeah, I mean it was, I was a bit cheeky with it because I had a mate.
No, you're not a cheeky guy.
No, but so there were 30 people to get chosen to go and do this British Airways one out the UK.
Yeah.
And I had a couple of mates that were DJs in rugby at the time, and they said, "Do this. This will get you on there." Because you basically had to sell out an application form. Yeah. They had like 5,000 other travel agents apply, and what I did, I sent my application form through, attached to a box of roses, sellotape to a box of roses, and that's what the DJs, my mates that were DJs used to do when they were trying to get to clubs. Right. Used to attach their mixtapes to a box of Cadburys roses, and he goes, works every time, it's brilliant. And when I met, and I got into it, and the dude at the British Airways at the end, he said, no, because your application was awful. He goes, but the fact that you attached it to a box of, he goes, is the only reason you're here. He says, because that was genius. So that
was a golden ticket.
So Cayman Islands, Bahamas, and all they play over there non-stop. You can't go anywhere without hearing reggae. It's just their sort of thing after water almost, and you'd walk into the hotel room, you'd hear reggae playing in the background. You'd walk into, everywhere you went, there was reggae playing. Yeah. And they really do, they look at it as a religion over there almost, and I sort of picked the love up for it then. And I've been listening to it ever since, really, from that one trip.
Yeah.
That just thought, wow, it's just over there. I mean, Irie is the national word over there for, alright, be cool.
Yeah.
It just meant,
really
just don't worry.
chill,
Chill, just don't worry. Different way of living over there.
Yeah.
And I need to go back. So if we don't go to the Jamiroquai concert, we'll go there.
Yeah,
we'll go there.
Let's have a trip there. That sounds absolutely incredible.
Yeah.
And so how long did you get to spend out there with?
3 weeks.
Yeah.
Travelled around hundreds of hotels. Obviously, I was there sort of working as well.
Yeah, of course.
But I don't know if you can be toured around a hotel classed as work.
Yeah.
Best one was the Sandals Resort in the Bahamas. He was the only one. This massive big Jamaican guy came up. The rest of them all very regimented, and this is the bed, this is the reception. Yeah. He just come up and he went, the best way to enjoy Sandals is to be Sandals. And he goes, go off and enjoy the whole day on us. So we got to just go and swim in the pool, hit the pina colada machines that were everywhere. Genius. And yeah, just whatever we wanted to do, and it was the best way. And yeah, I sold so many holidays off the back of that guy saying, come and be with us for the day and be welcome and enjoy it.
Yeah, because at that point you're like, well, who wouldn't want to go there?
Yeah.
And it's that belief in it, isn't it? I suppose it comes down to, with people's businesses, if you've got to have a belief in your business to sell it. And
well, they had it on point, best thing to do.
Yeah.
Best way to sell your product. British Airways, they were brilliant. They were always go to.
Fantastic. So yeah. Right, well that's it. We're at the end, Sam. I've very much enjoyed listening to your stories about the songs. Glad you've come on.
Yeah, no, I've loved it, mate. It's been really good. It's a great idea, great concept, and I'll be sharing the love on it to make sure everyone sort of listens, or if you're stuck for anyone to come along, I'm sure between the pair of us, you've got some proper interesting characters coming to come and do their story, and mate, continue, mate. I think it's a great idea.
Fantastic. Thank you very much. I'll let you know when the episode's going out.
Cheers, dude. Take care.
All right.